October the 20 something. 21st. It's the 28th, that's what it is, October the 28th. I had reason to be in the car, sort of over this direction, so I decided I'd walk in an area I haven't been in very often, which is over here, as it says, south of Broadway, east of Broad. This apartment complex here is called Wascana Estates. I'm just going to kind of wander around in this neighborhood. Broad Street is right over there. It's kind of the other main north-south route. Not as main as Albert, but almost, especially downtown. It's, I don't know, 2 or 3 degrees. A little chilly, but I didn't wear my jacket because I knew from yesterday I'd be too warm if I did. So what was I doing? Well, I was taking books to Sask Books. My most popular book that Chautauqua Press has published is One Lucky Devil, the First World War Memoirs of Samson J. Goodfellow, which was my wife's grandfather. I published that in 2018. And they sold quite a few through Sask Books, and it's in the Read Saskatchewan catalog, which goes out to schools and places like that. And they're getting orders for it. So I took 10 more copies of that over there. Then I also took 6 copies of Shapers of Worlds, Volume 2, the new anthology, featuring authors who were guests of my podcast, The World Shapers, during its 2nd year. Kickstarted that earlier this year, and it'll be out officially on November 2nd. The print on Amazon will probably go live before that. It's hard to time it because they don't allow pre-orders on Amazon for print. But I might even publish that today so that it has, because it can take up to 72 hours for them to approve it, and I really want it to be available when the ebook goes live on Tuesday, so, which I think happens at midnight. So I might go ahead and publish that. So that's a little secret. If you want to order a print book from Amazon, check there in a day or two, and it might already be available. Or a hardcover, because I did hardcovers as well. Again, that's Broad is over there. We're curving around here. Not bothering to go down into the parking lots, but I don't know when these were built. They were spruced up a few years ago. There's a lot of them. I've known people who live here, so I have been in them. Hello. They're nice little places, and a nice location as well. So Broadway is over there. You see the grounds are nice and well kept. I think they're rental. I don't think they're condos, but I could be wrong about that. Quite large, as you can see. Quite a lot of units here. And the other thing I'm doing, I had to pick up some copies of books from our condo where I keep some. I'm behind on doing what's called legal deposit. There's actually a legal requirement for publishers to send copies of books they publish to the National Library. You only have to send one if it's under a certain number, but I'm sending 2 of everything, so they'll be added to the collection. So that's a pretty big box. I have to mail that off this afternoon. I was waiting until I had copies of Shapers of Worlds, Volume 2, because that'll be the most recent print copy, but I was several behind, so books from last year are going in that package as well. So I got a mailing trip to make this afternoon, and I'll also be taking 6 copies of Shapers of Worlds Volume 2 to our newest bookstore here in town, Penny University, which is over on 13th. I've walked by it a few times, and it'll be the first place that will have them for sale, I would think. First bookstore to have them for sale. Shall we go into the park? Not much to do there. It's just grass. I don't think it has a path, and I don't want to walk through frosty grass, so we'll follow the crescent around here. Here we go. Leasing office. So nice little playground. Oh, there is a path over there. Well, maybe I'll follow the path. Follow the yellow brick road. It's not a yellow brick road, but same idea. Follow, 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 follow the yellow brick road. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Wonderful. If ever a whiz there was, the Wizard of Oz is one because. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Except we're not, because this is not the Yellow Brick Road, and I am not in an Oz book, or even in the musical Wicked. Don't quite know who I'd play in the musical Wicked. Well, the wizard maybe, except I think he's usually played by somebody younger. I guess there's the professor, who's slowly turning into a non-talking animal. All right, well, a little bit of a park there. Had I followed the road, I would have come around here, so we will rejoin the crescent now. And the park is straight ahead. I've walked down that alley behind people's houses down there, right alongside West Canada Centre. A lovely dog looking at us there. Didn't even bark. That's unusual. So the crescent I was on would have simply come around this way. Do I want to go down there? No, we'll stay out here because I think I've walked over there before. I don't know if I've walked over here before. It's a nice residential neighborhood. So far nobody has said hello on YouTube or Facebook, so if you're there, say hi. I always appreciate that, knowing I'm not alone. Ooh, look at that spider. It actually reminds me of a sculpture in, where was that? Some art gallery. Was it in Chicago? That doesn't sound right. Denver? Maybe. Kansas City? Possibly. I've been to a lot of art galleries. Wherever we go to the art gallery. These trees have all given up the ghost when it comes to leaves. They're done. Bring on winter. I wish the wasps in our house were done. I had pest control in and they sprayed through the hole that they got into in the wall. Well, kind of up in the little piece of roof, which fortunately does not connect to the attic. But they found a way into the house, in our bathroom specifically. And they sprayed and they put in some powder that's supposed to kill them, but they're still showing up. There's still stragglers who were not killed. And I would like them to stop. They come in through our exhaust vent. Is the main place they've come in. Well, they were coming in around our light fixture, but I fixed that. We're coming in through the vent, so I've got it covered. And swat them whenever I see them, but it's not very attractive because now we have this mesh that's covered with, has a bunch of dead wasps on it, so gotta clean that out. And hope that at some point soon, new ones stop appearing. Okay, we'll go to the right now. So remember from previous walks on Broadway, you might remember that apartment building, those two apartment buildings over there. Quiet down here. Very little traffic. Very little sound of any kind, except for what's coming from a distance. Except for the giant spider, I haven't seen anything significant in the way of Halloween decorations. Let's go over there just because that wall's kind of interesting. Rather odd feature on a house like that. I have no idea why you would do that and cut off the driveway. I guess there's a garden behind it. So I guess it was to make more garden space. Looks pretty old too. Here's a brand new one over here. Now I'm curving back the other way again. Where is everybody this morning? Nobody has said hi. It's quite a big one too. I mean, bigger than the others in the neighborhood. It really sticks up and out. Otherwise, I would guess, what do you think? 60s? Probably 60s, maybe 50s. Excuse me. That one's modern for its day. That's the previous crescent we were on. This is just going to curve around again. Don't really have a plan here, so. I am wandering. I love to go wandering along a city street. And as I go, I have to know that I can't see my feet. Which is a hazard. I have not fallen, but I have tripped more than once. Be more careful in the winter, but closest I've come to falling has not been in the winter. It's actually been on a thin layer of mud on the road, or recently water underneath leaves, like puddles under leaves that I don't see. That's slicker than ice, both of those. I don't know what these type of hedges are. They're quite common, and they're the last thing to have color in the fall. So the leaves are gone, but you still get this nice pop of color from these hedges. A somewhat truncated but large spruce. Probably lost its top. Oh yeah, it's actually split, so it probably was damaged early on and developed two trunks. This is leading us back to Broad. And I'll have to decide what to do. Check my time and see what direction I want to walk from there. But I think I'll go all the way along here down to there. So this will bring us back down to Wascana Estates over here on my right in a few minutes. I hear geese. Oh, there they are. You may not be able to see them, but there's quite a few up there. Between the trees. Another sign to the leasing office from the other direction. Oof. I think I'll cross over. I'll probably end up going down that alley I was talking about. Either that or I'll walk along the path to the Science Centre. I haven't really walked along there. And I think I have time. As fast as this is going. How long have I been out? 14 minutes, yeah. I've got tons of time. All right, there's Wascana Estates again. So the other thing I've been doing is reading books and watching videos about marketing. Trying to get a handle. I clearly have not done things right, because the modern world of indie publishing should play to titles, fast writer, all that. But discoverability seems to elude me. This is an interesting one. Kind of an odd little pop-up roof thing there. Modern, I guess. It's a new one. Again, larger than most of the older ones. Quite new. Here's an older, modern one at the time. Who's there? Hi, Nigel. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed them. And hi, Lucas in Brazil. That's an interesting one. So we're walking out here. This is Wascana Estates over there. I've been in one of these houses along here, and I can't remember which one. One of these kind of modern, looking for the time, low flat ones. There's several of them along here, so clearly this was a thing at some point. It's probably one developer to have created that many in a row that have similar style. Oh, here's some Halloween stuff going on. Ooh, that one's got lots going on. Very Halloween-y. Okay, now, how muddy is it? Pretty muddy, so I don't think I'll try walking down the alley. So you can walk down there and then around the alley. I think I'll go around the corner and go over to the path that leads to the Science Centre, where I used to work. Wascana Park Estates, I guess, is the proper name. And the main Wascana Centre is over there. So I'll be walking around there tomorrow when I go around the lake. Technically, I don't know if they still call this Broad or if it's turned into Wascana Parkway already. I don't really know where that happens. There's a hill. So this is actually parkland now. We've left the residential area behind, and this is part of Wascana Centre. Yeah, the way this works out, I'll just get on the path that goes down to the Science Centre and then come back from there to where the car is. And that's this road up here. So the first place I worked was the Science Centre. You'll see it when we get down there. Another big hill over there, well, by our standards. This is the way I came to work. Actually, my clearest memory of driving to work is the day that the engine blew up on my old Plymouth Laser, right about there. And that was the end of that car. I mean, literally, the block cracked and it dumped coolant all over the ground, and that was the end of it. So there's an IMAX film movie up here, as you can see. That was built while I was here. So officially we're in Wascana Centre. So the lake is right over there, just past those trees. I'll stay on the path today because the grass is damp. More geese. Oh, there they are. Big bunch this time. Hopefully you can see that. I couldn't. The screen wasn't bright enough to really show me what I was pointing at, but I could see the geese. Oh, there's more. Head into the water, which you can see through the trees there. and more. We go on and on and on. We tend to go under the Albert Street Bridge for fireworks because they set them off from Willow Island, so that's a really great spot to see them from. You see them reflected in the water. There was a time when they set them off out here, and I remember when I worked at the Science Centre watching them one year from the roof of the Science Centre because they were set off over here somewhere. But that was a long time ago. Because I moved here in '88, started working at the Science Centre that fall, after leaving the Weyburn Review, and was communications officer there for 5 years. And then quit my job in the fall of '93 and have been a freelancer ever since. Apparently the way the wind is, the planes are coming in low. I remember that from being at the Science Centre. Occasionally you'd see them come in like that. There's the Connexus Arts Centre over there. Big bird's nest of some sort up there. Also, the Albert Street Bridge is like, 2.5 blocks from our house, so we can just walk. We don't have to worry about fighting traffic, and then walk back. It takes us 5 minutes to get back to our house. It's very convenient for anything happening in the park. Connexus Arts Centre again, with the sun illuminating it brightly. Last time I walked this way, I actually walked on the path down by the water, which is a dirt path, but again, it gets a little damp after the recent rain. And of course, it's frosting every night, so. And a little too bright for me to read that at the moment. Let me see here. Lots of great places to walk. I have been up there to the northwest a couple of times. It's a bit out of my way, though. I have to make a special effort to drive up there. Still lots of places up there I could walk that I haven't walked yet, though, so. And I could just go up and walk along Rochdale Boulevard, actually. I've walked on parts of it, but not that that's where the lake is. It's along there. The joggers slowed to walk up there. Thanks, Nigel. Goodbye. Enjoy school, online school. You probably don't, but mushrooms. Not to be confused with mushrooms. Yeah, by the time I walk to the end of this and then get back to the car, it'll be close to my usual length of walk, I think. This was not a well-planned one. It's just kind of figured it out as I went. Still haven't been half an hour, so probably won't even be an hour by the time I'm back to the car. I thought about going out to Douglas Park and climbing the hill, but I'll save that. Maybe next week. I don't usually do it on the weekend because there's too many people on the paths. I like it when I have it more to myself. There's the Science Centre. And the old SaskPower powerhouse. Well, it wasn't SaskPower when it was built. But so when I arrived, that was under construction. The Science Centre part, the inside of the old powerhouse had been gutted, and they were doing the powerhouse, trying to get into the powerhouse of discovery, the Science Centre. So we're on the back of that big newer house I pointed out on the other side. I'll take a turn down by the Science Centre before I head back up toward Broadway in my car. Ow! See, I almost twisted my ankle because I'm not watching my feet. Walking is more hazardous than you think. I'll go around the Science Centre and then head back up. Although technically, the logical way to go is this path right here, but I'll do a circumference of the Science Centre first. So I was a communications officer here, and I wrote almost all of the exhibit copy for the original exhibits, and I've written a lot of copy for exhibits since then. You know, and if they ever asked me to, I'd be happy to continue doing it for new exhibits, which I know they have some coming, but it's been a long time since I had a close connection with them. It doesn't feel that long to me, but it was. Still a lot of my words on the walls in there, though, in the original exhibits. There's still quite a bit of that left, and the ones that I did later on. So, I don't know, I might have written half to 2/3 of the words you see if you come to the Science Centre. And I was here when the IMAX Theatre opened for the grand opening. There's a picture of me somewhere wearing a spacesuit. Not all of it, just the no boots, no gloves, no helmet, but the body part. Opened with one of the early space films, which was really cool to watch the shuttle take off on that IMAX screen the first time. It was a great way to showcase the technology of the giant screen and the giant sound system. I think it's digital now. I don't think they have reels anymore. I'm not 100% sure. Or they still have reels, but some of them are digital. I don't know that for sure. Don't quote me. Hi, Miriam in India. This is where I worked when I first came here for 5 years, back in the late 80s, early 90s, when it was just starting up. Lovely old building. There's a wonderful restaurant in there called Sky. And his wife run it. A copy for this too. They did. Shows you how levers work. That one makes thunder. Over here is a catenary arch, and those dishes, if you stand in one, you can hear somebody whispering from the other side of the park. that sort of thing. There's Sky Bistro. Highly recommend it. We most often are there for brunch, but it's excellent. Of course, the lake is over there all the time. Here's the main entrance to the, well, the entrance, as you come through the Science Centre, to the Kramer IMAX Theatre, named after the Kramer of money to make it happen. That was just an old shed when I worked there before this was built. I mean, this was built while I was there. Took pictures of the... Those pictures are still somewhere in the Science Centre files. They should be scanned and turned into a time lapse, but I don't think anybody's ever done that. They may have lost the photos by now, I don't know. They were actual film photos, of course. I also took a picture of the outside from the same spot every day. All right. The skateboard park over there. There used to be a power substation here. Not what's there now. But it was infamous for, I think it was that one. Anyway, one of them around here blew up while we were doing Deflator Mouse with Regina Lyric Light Opera at the time. Now, Regina Lyric Musical Theatre. Oh, who's that? Oh, hi. Let's see. Koi, I presume? Or is it Tran that you go by? Oh, somebody's on the skateboard park over there. Anyway, that power station blew up. Major power outage across much of the city, and it hit us, I think, just as we started the third act, or maybe even before. And as a result, it was opening night, and we never did the third act that night. So it's one of the most awful things in the world if you're a performer. Then we went off to the opening night reception, which was a somewhat down affair. Our director, Rob Urson, who was a good friend of mine and was best man at my wedding, went out on stage and basically told the audience what they would have seen by the emergency lights. Told them what they would have seen if here's the powerhouse and the Sask Power, that's still Sask Power part of it. Do the third. I did turn left, but now I'm not turning left anymore. I turn right next time. Why did you want me to turn left? And from where did you want me to turn left? There's sometimes a considerable delay before I see the comments, so I can't always connect them to what I'm doing. Back towards the car, which is over by Wascana Park Estates. Take this little path up here where the crosswalk is. Oh, there goes a snowshoe hare galloping off into the woods. I'll go back to the residential area as I head back to the car. Still only 34 minutes. This will be short even stretching it out by walking out to the Science Centre, it'll be a bit shorter than an hour, I think. Still some leaves left here and there along here. And more of those nice hedges that turn red. So the light up there takes us back onto Broadway, which is not where I want to go. I've walked along there before. Not so much along here, although I have some. So I will take the street before that instead. My niece, the lawyer, lives a few blocks that way, not too many. In fact, when I walked over there one day, I ran into her husband and giving their baby a stroll, so that was funny. th Avenue goes that way. We'll come up here and take the drive, which in fact I was on earlier, another part of it. Durand Drive. Oh, Quinn Drive, sorry. Shows you can't trust my eyes. From a distance, I can't read anything. Well, not if my contacts are kind of gummy, which they sometimes are, walking outside, or dust gets in them or whatever. Quinn Drive, that's what I meant to say. This is a Quinn Martin production. Probably as old as I am. Quinn Drive. To the left, to the left. See, I turned left. That probably wasn't where you were talking about, though. Nice paved alleys around here. Now we're working our way back. The car went, basically. I hope he's just turning around, so maybe not. We want to head back west as I find a way to do that. So I might as well cross the street. Somebody's moving in or out. I hear wind chimes. I hear wind chimes and there's no one there. Those Halloween wind chimes, they have a minor tone to them. Kind of a spooky sound. I bet you they are, because there's a little bit of ghosting going on in front of that one. Okay, we will go right. I may be repeating myself here any time now, but when you're walking in the opposite direction, it always looks different anyway. To the west, to the west. That house is in its blue period. Which apparently is a manga that my daughter really likes about art students. There's an anime, but she's not a big fan of the anime. Too rushed, she says. Now then, let me see. To the right probably just takes me back to Broadway. I'm trying to avoid walking along Broadway. But it's possible there's another road. Yeah. No. This one curves the way I want to go, so I'll go this way. He's putting leaves in their garbage bin. We had our yard cleared, but enough extra leaves have fallen on it that I almost feel like I need to rake it again. That's what I was trying to avoid with raking my yard. Hello, it's the yeah, this follows right around the way I want to go. I thought it did. And will take me back to, in fact, it's maybe where I parked. I might actually have parked on Quinn Drive, because there's a little park I walked through before. Carry on here around Quinn Drive. I think this is still Quinn Drive. And there's Wascana Park Estates. I don't know if I'm on this street or the next one. That's where I parked. We'll see in a minute. A few little pumpkins in front of that one and some Halloween-y stuff. Excuse me. Ottawa Street. I do believe I parked on Ottawa Street. Oh, there's a little free library. And again, I have no books to put in it. I'm not on Ottawa Street. I'm on the next one over. And I think that might actually be where I am. Yes, I am. Because I had to come over a block to find this park. I think I'll go up here though, because I kind of walked along here. Yeah, I'm on that next street over there. We'll go up here though, because I didn't walk along here when I arrived. Hi, Roger, on Facebook. Almost done. Getting closer to the car with every step. Here around Wascana Park Estates. Walked over to the Science Centre, and now I have come back. Some newer houses here. A little development. Broadway Place, not to be confused with Broadway Avenue, which we are still approaching. Here we go. I can take this sidewalk through the estate to get over where I need to be. And that'll be new territory then. It's the dome of the legislature rising over there to the left of that building and directly ahead. I think there's a snowshoe hare directly in front of us on the sidewalk. I think. I'm sure. It will make a run for it any minute now. First I thought it was a cat, but it's definitely a hare. Hare today, gone in a minute. How long will it wait? How tame is it? Pretty tame. Must not have been threatened very often living back in here. Oh, there's 2 more of them. It's a whole group. Oh, 4 more. Look at that. Oh, there's more down there. Huh. I want to go that way? Maybe I do, just because there's hares. Also, I think it's more direct. So, I'm afraid I will be startling these hares too. They clearly think this is their housing establishment. It's another 5 of them. Pretty calm about it. Clearly not too worried. Yeah, now this will take us more directly to where the car is. It's on this next street. And then this leads straight on up to Broad where the cars are going by. So as I said, east of Broad, south of Broadway is where I've been walking today. But I am almost done. How long did I end up going? Still not even close to an hour. Barely made 50 minutes. I'm always a little surprised by how much ground I cover if I walk for a full hour. Well, my car is just to the right, but this is prettier, so I will stop here. Thanks for walking with me. I'll be back tomorrow for my Friday walk around the lake. Bye for now.